Okay, so check this out. A remake from a game from 2004 just got a 91 on Metacritic. Not the original, the remake. And it's now the highest rated game in a franchise that has 13 entries spanning 20 years. Like, what? We're living through the golden age of JRPG remakes, and nobody's talking about it. I've got remakes outselling the originals by millions of copies. Games where the final boss is literally fate itself. And a 31-year-old game that was never translated, finally getting its moment. Here's the thing though, these aren't ranked. Not because I can't pick favorites, but because they're all masterpieces in different ways. Some are faithful restorations. Some completely reinvent the story. Some added 40 hours of content. Some stripped away the grind. They all work. Let me show you 15 games that prove remakes can be better than the originals. Some are controversial.
Trails in the Sky FC Remake. 91 Metacritic, 90 OpenCritic, 100% critic recommendation rate. RPG site literally said, easiest 10 out of 10 I've ever given. Falcom took the 40-hour original from 2004 and went, what if we made it 80 hours instead? They added 53 new side quests, memory pedestals revealing backstory, rebuilt it in their newest engine, and here's the genius part, they gave you options. Quick combat for trash mobs, real-time, hack and slash, boom, done. Then, for actual fights, you switch to command battle, this deep tactical system with team combos. It's like they said, turn-based is dead, here's both, pick one. The writing is so good, you want to talk to every NPC. Estelle and Joshua's relationship goes from 40 hours to 80 hours of development. That cliffhanger ending still destroys you emotionally. This is how you remake a classic without losing what made it special.
Number 2, Persona 3 Reload. 89 Metacritic, 97% positive on Steam. The original Persona 3 from 2006 had a problem. Your party members were controlled by AI. You'd watch Mitsuru cast charm spells on a boss that's immune to status effects for the 47th fucking time while you scream at your TV. Reload fixes that. Full party control, they removed the fatigue system, added theurgy limit breaks, and huge gave male party members actual social links. In the original, you could only bond with the girls. The controversy? The PSP version had a female protagonist. She's not in Reload. Some people are legitimately upset, and I get it. But if you've never played Persona 3, this is the version. When Junpei's persona evolves during his rage with full voice acting and modern animation, holy shit. Shinjiro's October Sacrifice will destroy you. 70 to 80 hours main story, 100 plus maxing everything, another 14 to 20 for the answer epilogue. When that final battle hits, every hour is worth it.
3. Star Ocean, the second story, R. 85 OpenCritic with 97% critic recommendation. For a remake of a 25-year-old PS1 game, those numbers are nuts. Gem Drops rebuilt it in gorgeous 2.5D. Pixel sprites on 3D environments. It's like your nostalgic memories of PS1 games finally matching reality. The dual protagonist system is brilliant. Pick Claude or Rena and get legitimately different stories with different party members and beats. Here's the insane part. 86 possible endings based on relationship decisions. Combat got overhauled from button mashing to a break system where you stagger enemies from massive damage. They removed random encounters and batch crafting. They reverted the brutal English PS1 difficulty back to Japanese balance. 35 to 40 hours per playthrough, 80 to 100 plus to see everything. The late game gauntlet requires perfect resource management. Black Rabbite, the secret superboss, reviewers called it complete insanity. This is what happens when a cult classic finally gets the budget. Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth. 87 to 89 Metacritic for Remake, 92 for Rebirth. But here's what people don't get. Square Enix isn't just remaking FF7. They're asking, what if we changed fate itself? I mean that literally. That 5-hour Midgar section became a 30-hour game. Rebirth expanded it to 80 to 100 hours. Combined, you're looking at 110 to 140 hours. But here's the bold move that pissed people off. The Whispers. Ghostly creatures trying to keep events on track with the 1997 story. The final boss isn't Sephiroth, it's fate itself. So now Sephiroth appears hour 1 instead of hour 20+. Zack's alive in an alternate timeline. Aerith might survive her iconic death. The plate collapse? Shinro's false flag. Combat merges Devil May Cry action with ATB strategy. 9+ characters each have unique mechanics. It works. Minor characters got massive expansions. Jesse, Biggs, Wedge were NPCs. Now they're fully developed. The plate collapse hits so much harder. Some hate this because they wanted one-to-one remakes with prettier graphics. I'm team love it. This is $300 million saying, we know you love the original, now watch us change everything and make you love it more.
Number 5, Romancing Saga 2, The Revenge of the Seven. This one's wild. 82 to 86 Metacritic for a 31-year-old Super Famicom game that never got proper Western release. One reviewer wrote, "The history of Japanese RPGs may have been very different if this had reached the world at the time. The Imperial Succession System is gaming's boldest narrative structure. You control emperors across multiple generations, spanning thousands of years. When your emperor dies, time jumps 50 to 100 years. The new emperor inherits skills and equipment. You're literally building a dynasty across millennia." The opening sets it perfectly. Emperor Leon sacrifices himself to pass knowledge to his son Gerard. This is a story about generational sacrifice. Combat uses the Glimmer system. Characters randomly learn abilities mid-battle. This light bulb icon pops up and it's so satisfying. They added united attacks and 3 difficulty settings plus expert and romancing modes. Late game twist. Your choices determine which of 3 final dungeons you access. Heaven for good doers, Hell for villains, Garden for the ambiguous. The game tracks your morality invisibly. This is the entry point for newcomers and a celebration for fans who waited 31 years. Number 6. Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. 89 Metacritic. Nintendo Life said, easily one of the greatest RPGs on Switch. The original revolutionized JRPGs with MMO-inspired combat on zones built on dead titans. The Vision system let Shulk see future attacks and change fate. Brilliant on Wii. Definitive Edition rebuilt character models, added Future Connected, a 10 to 20 hour epilogue starring Melia giving her proper closure, and implemented quality of life that makes the 60 to 70 hour journey smooth. Quest objectives marked in real time, fashion gear so you look good without sacrificing stats, casual and expert difficulty, fatigue mechanic, gone. The Gower Plain moment, you exit an enclosed area and suddenly you're on this massive sweeping field with the mechanist looming. The music swells. That's the, oh shit, this is what the game is moment. 60 to 70 hours main story, 140 to 150 plus for completionists.
7. Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age. 87 on Metacritic, 89% positive on Steam. It won Best Remaster at Game Informer 2017 awards. The Gambit system, programming your party's AI with if-then commands, inspired Dragon Age, Pillars of Eternity, FF14. PC Gamer said it deserves its own game subgenre. They're right! The Zodiac job system replaced shared progression with 12 job-specific boards. Each character picks 2 jobs, creating actual variety where everyone was identical by endgame. But speed control changes everything. Toggle 2x or 4x game speed. This transforms a 90-hour grind into 50 hours. Trial mode has 100 escalating battles. Autosave everywhere. The political drama still holds up. Mature storytelling about war, betrayal, manipulation. Game of Thrones before that became a cliché. When Redis declares, I, Judge Magister, condemn you to oblivion, while ending thousands of years of manipulation? Chef's kiss.
Number 8. Fire Emblem Echoes, Shadows of Valentia. 81 Metacritic. Critics called it the culmination of Fire Emblem on 3DS. This introduced mechanics that 3 Houses later adopted. Myla's Turn Wheel, the time rewind mechanic, became Divine Pulse. This shaped Fire Emblem's future. It's a remake of 1992's Fire Emblem Gaiden, the series' experimental black sheep. Echoes keeps the weirdness, but modernizes everything. The dual protagonist system splits your army. Alm leads military campaign, Celica goes spiritual journey. completely separate parties. Their childhood friends to lovers arc is the emotional core. What the remake added is staggering full voice acting, first Fire Emblem with complete voices, animated cutscenes from Studio Kara from Evangelion, and support conversations created from scratch. New characters like Berkut and Rania become tragic antagonists that are genuinely heartbreaking. Original had 2 lines, 35 to 40 hours main story, 70 hours completionist.
9. Ys, The Oath and Felghana, Memoir. 94% positive on Steam. 82 Open Critic for the 2025 Memoir Remaster. Complete 3D reimagining of 1989's side-scrolling Ys 3. The boss design is legendary. One reviewer said the third-to-last boss might genuinely be my favorite boss in any video game ever. Pattern-based combat where you master 3 magic bracelets for different attacks. Instant retry on death. Higher difficulties don't just increase stats, they add new movesets to bosses. Fast-paced 3D isometric action with tight controls. No healing items allowed in boss battles, pure skill checks. 10 to 12 hours for main story, 20 to 21 for completionists. The 2025 Memoir Remaster added full voice acting for 30-plus characters, HD visuals, turbo mode at 1.5x or 2x speed, 60 FPS across platforms. 10 to 15 hours of zero filler. Every dungeon, every boss matters.
Number 10. Lunar Remastered Collection. Released April 18, 2025. 81 to 83 Metacritic scores and 91% positive on Steam. This is Lunar Silver Star Story Complete and Lunar 2 Eternal Blue Complete. 2 PS1 classics from 1996 to 1998 brought to modern platforms with full voice acting for the first time ever. RPG Fan gave it 90 out of 100, a fantabulous package of 2 of the best lighthearted retro RPGs ever made. These were among the first CD-ROM JRPGs with full voice acting back in 1992. Historically important, the collection preserves Studio Gonzo's 50 minutes of animation per game, now HD upscale, completely new English voice cast recorded in 2025. Quality of life improvements while keeping the soul intact. What's new? Full voice acting for all dialogue in English and Japanese, 3 times faster battle speed, customizable auto battle, unified inventory, widescreen 16:9 toggle. Lunar 1 is 20 to 30 hours, Lunar 2 is 35 to 40 hours, 90 to 100 plus total for completionists. The optimistic storytelling and bubbly characters stand in stark contrast to modern cynicism. When the ending credits roll, you remember why we fell in love with JRPGs.
11. Trials of Mana 2020 Remake. Launched April 24th, 2020, 76 to 78 Metacritic, 92% positive on Steam, over 1 million copies sold worldwide. Full 3D remake of 1995's Japan exclusive Seiken Densetsu 2-3. That was 24 years overdue. The 6 protagonist system creates genuine replayability. Pick your main hero plus 2 companions from 6 characters. Different combinations lead to different story threads, and 3 completely distinct final bosses. 80 to 110 hours to experience all content across multiple playthroughs. Combat evolved from 2D action to real-time 3D brawler with strong and weak attacks, combos, jumping, dodging, aerial combat, swap between party members instantly during fights. The class system has 4 tiers now with light versus dark choices. New content, scrolls teaching character-specific spells, 5 sigils for battle bonuses, post-game epilogue, and 4th class tier. 20 to 30 hours per route, 80 to 110 for all 3. The controversial part is English voice acting is weak. Japanese voices are better, but the full orchestral soundtrack by original composer Hiroki Kikuta is wonderful. The 8 Benevodon boss battles are spectacular. Black Rabbite Ultimate Super Boss is complete insanity.
Number 12. Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster. Released May 25th, 2021. 79 Metacritic on PC, 76 on PS4 and Switch, 87 to 89% positive on Steam. Nocturne introduced the press turn system. It's still the gold standard for turn-based combat. Hit a weakness, get bonus actions. Miss, lose multiple turns. This applies to enemies too. Rock, paper, scissors puzzle combat. Destroidoid gave it 9 out of 10, one of the greatest of all time. RPG fan, 98 out of 100. The core 2003 game is brilliant. The HD remaster makes it accessible with full voice acting, manual skill inheritance and demon fusion. Merciful difficulty is free DLC, and suspend save anywhere. The post-apocalyptic journey doesn't hold your hand. Opening sequence where Tokyo folds in on itself, transforming into the Vortex world, you witness humanity's death and transform into a half-demon demi-fiend. Demon fusion with 200+ demons from global mythologies. The Magatama system, you ingest parasites to learn skills, creates strategic depth. 45 to 55 hours main story on normal, 80 to 90+ completionist. Matador breaks everyone. This infamous early game boss filters players. You're forced to understand buff-debuff stacking and press-turn exploitation. This is where you learn to respect Nocturne.
13. Romancing Saga Minstrel Song Remastered, December 1st, 2022. 77 Metacritic on Switch, 68 to 73 average critically, but 86% positive on Steam. Cult classic with polarizing critic reception, but devoted fan base. RPG Site gave it 9 out of 10. The free scenario system, choose from 8+ protagonists, each with unique origins. After a brief prologue, the world opens completely for non-linear exploration. The event rank system makes the world evolve based on battles fought and quests completed. No experience points. Stats increase based on weapon or spell usage. The Glimmer system lets characters randomly learn abilities mid-battle. New in 2022, 2x and 3x speed controls, autosave, quick save, mini-maps, fast travel, New Game Plus with carryover options. 24 to 30 hours per character, 60 to 105+ for all 8 protagonists. Late game revelation, accumulated choices determine which of 3 final dungeons you access. Heaven for good guys, hell for villains, garden for the ambiguous, invisible morality tracking. This is tabletop RPG freedom in video game form. The glimmer lightbulb moments, realizing your morality was tracked all along, pure SaGa brilliance.
Number 14. Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. 88 Metacritic on PS5 and PC, 86 on Switch 2. Eurogamer gave it 100 out of 100, saying, "The long-awaited return, impressive voice acting elevates the experience." This remaster, based on the original 1997 PS1 version, added full voice acting, completely overhauled UI, 3 difficulty settings while preserving tactical grid combat that influenced strategy games for decades. Job system with 20+ classes, permadeath with 3-turn revive timer, Zodiac sign compatibility affects damage, bravery and faith stats create strategic depth, 35-40 hours main story, 80 to 100+ completionist. Rio Venice Castle, WeGraph Velius fight, the game's infamous difficulty spike. One-on-one with your former ally, then WeGraph transforms into Demon Velius, legendary challenge. Enhanced sprites and redrawn backgrounds maintain pixel art charm, completely redesigned UI, Sakamoto's orchestral score remastered. This tells a story about class struggle and historical revisionism wrapped in the deepest tactical combat square ever designed. The voice acting finally gives it gravitas it deserves.
Number 15. Dragon Quest I and II HD 2D Remake. Released October 30, 2025, pre-release, but Dragon Quest III HD 2D got 85 Metacritic and 10 out of 10 from Forbes. This brings Team Asano's HD 2D art style to pixel sprites in 3D environments with dynamic lighting to the 1986-1987 NES classics that established JRPG conventions. Dragon Quest I adds multiple enemy battles, NES was 1v1 only, new bosses, scrolls for learning skills, expanded areas. Dragon Quest II introduces Princess of Connacht as fully playable fourth-party member, massive ocean floor or Mercia Kingdom underwater expansion with new storylines, built in Unreal Engine 4, full orchestral recording based on Koichi Sugiyama's original compositions. Sugiyama was the first video game composer to record with live orchestra in 1986. DQ1 is 12 to 15 hours, DQ2 is 20 to 25 hours, combined completionist 45 to 55 hours. This takes the games that invented the JRPG genre and asks, what if we gave them the budget Square Enix reserves for mainline Final Fantasy? These become modern masterpieces.
All right, so we just covered 15 remakes spanning from 1986 NES classics to 2004 cult hits. And here's what they all have in common. They respect your time while respecting the original. Fast travel, save anywhere, battle speed controls, quest markers. These aren't casualization. They're acknowledging we're not teenagers with unlimited free time anymore. These remakes get that. But more importantly, they're proof that when developers care, the result transcends the original. Some have controversial decisions, Persona 3 missing FEMC, FFT excluding War of the Lions content. They're not perfect, but perfect is boring. These took risks, most paid off. So which remake surprised you most? Are you team faithful restoration or team change everything? If you want more deep dives, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.